And I'm hella young. They call me Zombie Ray.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros, if it isn't obvious, take a look at Trill's shirt. We are going to discuss Dillian White's announcement of the rematch with Alexander Povetkin. This is his Instagram account. Dillian White said, "We go again. All roads lead to November 21st. This is heavyweight boxing. We get knocked down. We get back up and out it right." All right, so
it's heavyweight boxing. One punch can change everything.
Why look like a photo shoot, like for the Gap? You know what I'm saying?
Trill Dollar Bill, please let me know, what is your reaction to Dillian White announcing that he will officially fight Alexander Povetkin on November 21st in the rematch after being knocked out cold in the 8th round in his last fight? Trill Dollar Bill, you're on mute.
Poor Dillian. You know why I say poor Dillian? Because I wish he had better people around him. This is too soon to be going in the ring after you was violently knocked out like that. I mean, you was knocked out before you even hit the canvas. And then when you hit the canvas, you was knocked out again. You was double knocked out. You know what I'm saying? I think this is too soon, too soon. If somebody cared about you, they should be stepping in and saying, this is too soon. You was definitely concussed. You was out. You was out. You wasn't just out. You was out. And I think the narrative is going to change. If you lose again to Povetkin, the narrative is going to go from poor Dillian to damn Dillian, because you're going to go back to the back of the bus with less pay, and you're going to have to start all over and give yourself some time. The rematch is still there. Give yourself some time. I mean, I'm sure I'm just concerned for Dillian White's safety at this point. I know pride is involved, and you know, I like Dillian White like the next guy, you know, and I want him to get his chance. And I think he's been done dirty with boxing and in the business of boxing. But I don't want to see him not be able to enjoy the money that he did make and enjoy his family after boxing because of foolish pride.
Here comes the commissioner.
Here we go. Definitely. I just think that
how long would Dillian wait if it was up to you before he fought?
Listen, I'm not a doctor or nothing. For me personally, I would have gave him at least 10 months to a year to clear his head. That was a savage knockout. Now, if he couldn't wait that, at least 8 months, or at least 6 months after that. After 6 months after that knockout, at least.
True, you're the commissioner. This is hypothetical. You're the commissioner. Eddie Hearn comes to you. Fight proposal. Dillian White versus Alexander Povetkin for November 21st. What do you do?
Make it for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day Massacre. That's what I would call it. All right? I would give him another out. I say it's too soon. We can't do it. Let's push it to Valentine's Day. Call it the Valentine's Day Massacre. And he can wear another vest that says Valentine's Day Massacre. You know what I'm saying? Massive Valentine's Day violence. I don't know.
Maximum Valentine's Day violence.
Exactly.
All right. Wait, so G, you're the commissioner. The proposal sent to you, they want you to approve November 21st for Dillian White. What do you do?
If he dies, man. I'm straight up. Now listen, I'm all right, go ahead, David.
Man, what would you do?
Man, I'll call him like, Dillian, you sure about this? You really want to take this fight? And I wouldn't even talk him out of it. I wouldn't talk him out of it.
You gonna let G sneak away with that? You gonna let G sneak away with that one?
Yo, Ned's feeling it. Ned, you agree.
Yo,
Like,
I agree. It happens. I say if he wins, this is his time to take time to like work on his craft. Get his.
This be me. I get the call. Hello, Eddie. What's good? Oh, you want Dillian White? Povetkin Rematch. November 21st. November 21st. I have a heart. Would never. November 14th's better. Can we do November 14th? Yeah.
Bunch of savages.
Go ahead, Trill. Back to you.
Nah, I just think it's way too soon. Unlike you, Evo. I think that it's too soon. I think it really is too soon. I think you need some time after getting punched. Like, say if he gets hit with not even that shot, it's something like that. It's gonna be because he didn't give his chin enough time to heal. We seen this before. Any other fighter that done hopped in that fast after being.
I got you. All right, G.
hey, man, listen, I hear what you're saying, Trill, but I remember myself saying Anthony Joshua shouldn't take the immediate rematch with Ruiz. He took too much punishment, this and third, and I was wrong. You know what I mean?
That was different.
Yeah, but people, I didn't expect AJ to implement that strategy. I thought AJ was going to be typical AJ, going in there trying to take the dude's head off, and he was going to get caught. And I was wrong. So I look at it like with Dillian. Dillian, he showed in that fight signs of how to beat Povetkin. Utilize the stiff jab. It was working for you the whole night. You got careless, you got caught. So I still feel like if originally I didn't even think it was a 50-50 fight. I was like, Dillian's going to wash Povetkin. That's what I thought originally. Now I'm like, this is a 50-50 fight. But as long as Dillian just utilizes his jab and keeps the distance, he's going to win. You know what I mean? It's only if he gets careless. And then I'm like, oh, man. Because you're right. If he loses, it's damn Dillian. However, it doesn't necessarily mean he's back to the back of the bus. Because think about it. Look at Chisora. How many losses Chisora got under his belt? And he still gets love and respect in the UK. He still sells out arenas. Dillian could do the same thing. So it's different. And like here in the States, yeah, that would be a game changer. Like that would be a game ender. But in the UK, it's a little different, man. They hold down their boxers. So to me, I'm not necessarily worried. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Salute to the UK. I'm not worried that, you know, a November date is going to end his career. I don't believe that's going to happen with Dillian. The only thing I could be thinking about is his health. I agree.
That's ending his career.
Yeah, that's dangerous. But I believe, this is what I will believe. I'm hoping Dillian goes back to his old trainer. You know what I mean? I'm hoping he just stays to the game plan. Discipline. This is literally, like, there's no way you should be trying to engage with no Povetkin, especially after what he just did to you. Don't play yourself. Jab, stiff jab, keep it moving. Stiff jab, keep it moving. You're going to win. You know what I'm saying? And if not, man, it is what it is. Well, I don't wish no harm on either man. You know, Povetkin's old too. You know, so it's like Povetkin old. Dillian just got knocked out. Yo, this heavyweight boxing, somebody could seriously get hurt in this fight. Hence, maximum violence. You know, but again, it is what it is.
I agree with the things that you're saying, the tools that Dillian need to utilize to win this fight. I totally agree with you 1,000%. But we all rated Dillian White's stamina. We know that he cannot stay outside and do that for 12 rounds. Eventually,
y'all know, man, to his defense though, I hate to compare the two. I thought the very same thing with Joshua. I was like, ain't no way Joshua.
Joshua's an Olympian.
I must interrupt. I didn't want to, but I had to clarify a point. That's because, G, you had an unrealistic view on who Joshua was. So
I agree. Yeah,
you had a wrong idea. I knew he could do it. Trill knew he could do it. You, on the other
I
hand,
need to see it.
your Wilder bias.
Nah, that had nothing to do with bias. It had nothing to do with bias. I promise you,
it did.
nothing to do with Wilder
Yes,
and no
it did.
bias. I literally seen.
Why were you jumping up? Why
times.
were you in Complex
Mm-hmm.
heaven when Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua? If
Yo,
it had nothing to do with Wilder, please explain. Nothing. You guys didn't celebrate like you really
had nothing to do with Wilder.
Because it had nothing to do with Wilder.
I'm about to explain. Because Andy Ruiz held it down for the big brothers. You know what I'm saying? For example, let me hold it down. For example, somebody wrote in the comments, right? Here's your cholesterol. I'm like, yo, every time I get a physical and they check my blood, I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people understand, but they just like, yo, because I ain't got no six pack. You know what I mean? Because I don't look like catered over here. You know what I mean? I must be like messed up in the game. Nah, son.
Yo, G,
so
let them know. Yo, G, under the fat
is a six-pack maniac. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen Andy do what he did, yo, and I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. Remember, I was actually rooting for AJ. I even picked AJ for my prediction. I was like, yeah, AJ gonna win. I was like, AJ gonna have to struggle, but AJ gonna pull out the knockout in the end. When I seen it, I was like, damn, son, this dude just held it down for the big boys. So that was where my emotional outburst came from.
I can give you that. I can respect that. I'm just gonna ask you, as your bro, in honest, I will take your answer for face value, although I'll know it's BS. There wasn't a part of you that was happy to see Anthony Joshua lose while Deontay Wilder was still undefeated.
Nah. I wanted Wilder to take his oath. Remember, that's what I wanted the whole time. So it was, I'm telling you, literally in my mind, it was more, yo, fat.
Let it rock. Go ahead.
Oh, yo, am I bugging that? That was there. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel a little side of you with just she jumped for joy when AJ got knocked out. I know a little excited inside of you. I was just feeling it that day.
You sure you didn't pee on yourself a little bit? Like, nah, bro. Yeah. Like, yo, listen. I'm telling you, I was rooting for AJ. I expected AJ to beat him because I was like, there's no way Ruiz is gonna like really beat this dude. Like, that's crazy. I was like, Ruiz is gonna be a challenge, but AJ's still gonna pull it off in the end. And then when I seen it, I was like, oh snap. And I was like, oh snap. And I'm like, damn. And then literally, yo, salute to Complex. Complex said it. He's like, he did it for the big boys. And I was like, bling, you know, like with that light bulb just hit you. It's like, yeah, you're right, son. That's what Complex did. He did it for Wilder.
You were in the gym the following week like this.
Like, hey, dog. Hey, listen, yo, big boys is back in style, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
It is what it is.
They wore in style, but Ned let you know.
That's what I'm saying. Then Ned, what they say, yo, get your Nikes back on. You going on a jog. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
You good, Jake? G, I know I interrupted you. You were talking.
No, I know what I was saying.
Talking about how you thought Joshua didn't have the stamina to
go. I was just saying in response to Trill, like, yo, I honestly thought that Anthony Joshua was gonna have a major stamina problem, and he proved me wrong. So why can't Dillian prove me wrong? That's all I'm saying. So,
all right, Ned.
Hey man, I can't. Dillian's his own man. If he feels he could go back in the ring November 21st, let that man try to be great. You know, let that man do what he has to do to get his number one contender spot back. But you know, Dillian, yo, you gotta tighten up.
I hear you, but that's why there's people in place to protect the fighter from himself.
Yeah. Hey man,
I don't know.
Dillian had him.
I'm just being a commission. I'm just being everything y'all say. I got something to say too because I'm the commission.
Yes,
you know
Dillian had the man. Dillian is just
I'm trying to save lives here.
Dillian is just a sloppy fighter when it comes to tightening it up and keeping it close and like being technical. He is very sloppy with his skills. He had Povetkin, and when he did what he tried to do in that round, Povetkin caught him because Dillian left himself open and vulnerable because it's Dillian. Dillian, you really got to work on your defense, keeping yourself closed off from getting executed like that. And we don't know. It could go the other way around. One hook, and Povetkin's laid out and it's over. We like Dillian's back on top for another. He has to wait another year, but it's all up to Dillian how he comes out this fight, how he takes that loss, and how he comes back from it.
I'm afraid that even if he does win by a knockout, right? They're gonna want him to go back in there and do it a third time.
No, he's not got to do it third time.
That's good. That's how people want blood. You see how people want him to go back out there November 23rd?
Third time because he took Povetkin as a voluntary when he didn't have to. Is why he has a rematch clause. If he wins, I think this time he's finally going to understand. If he recaptures his mandatory status, sit down and wait till you get your fight. Just train your behind off for the moment. Stay active. Get your date. Keep in shape. Now the issue is when Stavern captured mandatory status and Brazil captured mandatory status. They didn't stay in shape. They came in looking worse than they were before they even got the mandatory status. But I think he's learned his lesson from this. So he doesn't need to rematch Povetkin. Povetkin needs to rematch him because he never would have been in that position if Dillian didn't voluntarily give him the shot. So
I hope not.
And remember, Trill, and that's why he wants the immediate rematch, because once he wins again, he has to wait an entire year just to get that fight with whoever got that WBC strap. That's a long time.
I want him to wait as long that gives him the better chance of winning. I want him to wait for as long, give him the better chance of winning. He's going in there with did y'all watch that knockout again? That has to be so far the knockout of the year.
No, that's definitely big facts. That's gonna be.
That has to be the knockout of the year.
Oh, I don't know.
Who got over that?
Stella. I think what's it? Anissa.
I don't count, man. I was.
That don't count. That don't count. The soccer ball. Nah.
If we being real, all things being equal,
I'm not doing it.
That's in the discussion. I get it. It's very competition, but that never stopped us from giving Wilder.
The thoughts and views of Caden have.
I got a disclaimer.
Listen, when Wilder violated Stavern in that rematch, Stavern was hella out of shape, breathing hard during the press conference. Hey, I didn't go, but that Stavern was out of shape. It was like, nah, bro.
But Stavern's still former champ, so it's a different thing, you know.
But I'm just saying he got murdered. And none of us came up with excuses for Stavern. We're just like, yo, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So, and you know what, Sakamoto, I'm sorry, but it is
after that knockout for the Stavern, I wasn't saying he need to go back into the ring. You know, all I'm saying, I think Dillian can win. I just think this is too soon. That was vicious. His sneakers are still in the ring. He got knocked out of sneakers.
Girl, let me ask you this question. Should Dillian give up his pursuit for the WBC strap? Because that's what's pushing him to do the immediate rematch.
No, because I'm looking at the time frames and how times go. He still can wait. So if this fight is going down with the Deontay Wilder and Fury, when is that fight supposed to take place?
19th, December 19th.
Yeah.
In December, correct? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when is the fight with that's perfect. So he can have his fight in January. That still gives him more time. He doesn't need to go, and he wins that fight. It's still more time for him to train.
It doesn't because the result's still up in the air. So Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight December 19th. Dillian has a fight scheduled in January. We still don't know who's going to be the mandatory challenger. So now it makes it easier for Tyson Fury to enter into a contract to fight Anthony Joshua because the WBC has no mandatory. However, Dillian White wins on November 21st. He's a clear-cut mandatory when the result of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury concludes.
Clear-cut? We're talking about the WBC. They're going to be like, since you lost your mandatory spot.
Nah, they can't do that.
They're not going to be able
they done did everything else.
Nah, what they just doing, they already said they'll just roll it.
He needs regardless of what they say, and that's a possibility, Trill. However, if he's not the winner before the conclusion of the Wilder Fury fight, he has absolutely no argument at all. Yeah. So in order for him to have an argument that he's still mandatory and he still deserves the shot after the Wilder Fury fight, he must beat Povetkin before that fight happens. But Joshua pulled a sly move and is fighting December 12th. So it wasn't like he could get more rest.
And if you ask me that, then no, G. I'm answering your question. His life ain't worth a belt from some people that don't even want him to have it.
It ain't worth the green and gold.
Listen, it's like, hey, to me, his life, these people, they done made him jump through every hoop in the book, letting him know that they don't want him to have his belt. You know, why? If he want to die for it, go ahead. But I'm totally against it.
To you, Trill.
He can be great and he can do other things. There's other belts. Listen, Dillian, I just say put health first. That's all I'm saying. You can listen to these guys, these other guys over here on these panels.
Bloodthirsty demons
with their fangs out. You know what I'm saying?
Or you can listen to Trill and be wondering your whole life if you were ever good enough.
Yeah,
you wondering your whole life if you could have just beat Povetkin, you could have fought for the title. And you'll be regretting your entire life.
If you don't unless you be regretting it unless you be regretting it having fun. That's all I'm saying.
Won't be though. Because regardless of what happens, no one will be calling you champ. You'll never be known as the champ. And that's what you want. So here's the thing.
He'll never be a champ.
It's about what you can live with. And he's made his decisions. Every day people make decisions to do something that's not good for them. Whether it's they smoke, they drink.
They definitely do.
They eat a bunch of cookies, right? Or they eat nasty foods. Everybody has a habit that's killing them slow, one way or another. His just happens to be boxing. So he's choosing to do what makes him happy. Exactly. Everybody chooses.
Exactly. I totally, and that's what I said.
It's about what he can live with. If he wants to be the guy who says, "Oh, I'm not going to take the fight because, my health," I respect it. Barry Sanders retired from the NFL way before his time. We all call Emmitt Smith the Russian champion, right? But we all know he was not better than Barry. We know that. Barry chose to lead the game early. That's cool. If he wants to do that, fine. But also, if he wants to risk his life to become heavyweight champion, because that's what matters to him, I can't fault him for that. Everybody has their vice. Everybody
I was about to do it.
And that's cute and all, but that's why there needs to be people in place who to protect fighters from themselves. I don't want to see another incident that we had another Patrick Day incident. I don't want to see another one of those.
Comparison.
That's just me. I just don't want to see.
You can't compare Patrick Day to Dillian White. It's not a parallel. It has to be a parallel. There's no parallel.
The parallel is that people get injured in the ring and they lose their lives. So there needs to be people there. There needs to be people there to protect these. We know that these
fighters. So we should just end boxing.
I'm not taking anything from you.
So I'm not taking anything from you.
We know that these fighters are warriors. I'm not taking that from you, Kaden. We know that these fighters are warriors, but these fighters also need to be protected from themselves. And that's why we have people in place to protect. We wouldn't have reps. We wouldn't have trainers. We wouldn't have the commission coming in and saying, hey, this cut is too bad, or we need to stop this fight. There needs to be people in play that protect the fighters from themselves. But I get what y'all are saying. I just feel differently. We can agree to disagree.
It's not about agreeing to disagree. I respect your opinion, but what I'm saying is what I've already said, which is Dillian White can take the fight. It's about what he can live with, right? And then you said he can be. That's your take on it. My take on it is, like I said, you do what you're able to live with. Some people would regret not taking that fight. If you don't take that fight, you'll always wonder what. And he could take the fight in January, but if he takes the fight in January, he's not going to be able to have an argument that he should be mandatory. So he's taking the route that means the most to him. He
so
wants
close.
to be.
It's
Yeah,
so close, Trill.
He's so close, but he was so close to being seriously injured that night. He was so close from us not being able to say poor Dillian. That's how so close he was.
That can
But
happen.
I get it. That's his choice. I just think that that's why we have people in place to protect fighters from themselves. If there's nobody there to whisper in his ear,
that whole argument doesn't apply because you have people in place, but the fight still happened. When a fight happens, anyone can die, like Patrick Day. Patrick Day didn't die because people didn't.
That's what you got to listen to when I first started it off. I first started this whole argument off with he doesn't have the right people in his corner. I said poor Dillian because he doesn't have the right people in his corner to tell him that you should not be taking this fight so early. That's what I said the beginning of my statement. The first time he came to me, I said poor Dillian because he doesn't have the right people in his ear telling him that maybe you need a little bit more time.
He makes the final decision.
He makes the final decision.
Dillian makes the final decision.
He's his own boss. He's his own boss.
Dillian makes the final decision.
That's why I said I wish he had better people around. I know there's other people that have they're their own bosses, but they still respect the opinion of other people. You can be your own boss, but still respect the opinion of a loved one, a family member, a business associate, or other people that's handling your finances and everything that's going on in your day-to-day life. He's not just going to sit here and say, I'm not listening to nobody. I'm just going to train the way I want to train.
I don't think you can say that because there are people who have family members who are alcoholics. There are people who have family members who are addicted to drugs that could kill them, who have habits that can kill them. And those people always say to them, no, you need to stop doing this. You should try to seek help. You should try to do things. But those people still continue to do the things that are leading them towards a path where they may possibly die.
Yeah, that is
implicating. Remember, when Tyson Fury fought Wilder the first time, Tyson Fury's wife and father said, do not fight this dude. Do not take the rematch. You know what I mean? Now imagine if Tyson Fury actually listened to his family. He wouldn't be the Tyson Fury that we're talking about today. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to dare to be great.
And to add to that, look at what happened when he was.
How long did Tyson Fury take before that rematch happened with Deontay Wilder?
He had 2 tune-ups in between.
This is what I'm trying to say. Let's not do. What are we doing here? We were just wasting time. All I said was that I think that this guy should. This is. All you do is co-signing me on that one. You know what I'm saying? At least he had some time in between before he went back in there. Because I remember seeing an interview from his wife saying that she loves seeing him fight and keeps him active, off the drugs, off the depression. And he also had time to before he went in there again with Deontay Wilder and that magnificent right hand. Now, we're just saying on the other aspect of Dillian White is still this. I wish that he had somebody like me in his corner, you know, to tell him, hey, wait a couple months. I think that you're popular enough that you can make enough discussion. You have fans going crazy. We even went over our discussion time right now talking about Dillian White, you know what I'm saying? That I think that maybe, you know what I'm saying, that your health is a little bit more important than this. I just really think so.
I like to say this.
It's up to him. At the end of the day, I'm not Dillian White.
If I'm allowed to speak, here's what I'm saying. I hear what you're saying and no one disagrees with what you're saying, but you're making a conflict that doesn't exist. My point is that Dillian White should have more time. I agree with that. If it was me, I would advise him to have more time. The issue is he needs to win the fight before.
With conflict doesn't exist, though.
I let you speak uninterrupted.
With conflict doesn't exist.
He needs to win the fight before Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder conclude their fight. So he's trying to regain mandatory status. My point isn't whether or not he should wait to accept the fight. My point is he needs to do what's most important to him. The decision is about
but that wasn't the question. The question is
uninterrupted. I didn't
interrupt. Go ahead.
Rock.
Uninterrupted. All right, go ahead. Rock. Go ahead. I let you rock for a long time.
No, you didn't, bro. You were rocking for a very long time. For a very long time, I didn't interrupt you. You can play the tape. You can play the tape. For me, this isn't about a right or wrong thing. I agree with you. Personally, I would tell him to take more time. But what I'm saying is it's about what matters most to him. That's the situation he's in. He can't wait until January, because if he waits until after December, Deontay Wilder and Fury would have already fought. And then the winner of that fight could fight Anthony Joshua. Without him having an argument, he should get his title shot.
Okay, now let me intervene real quick.
Bro,
right.
There's no way I just talked as long as you did.
All right, go ahead.
And I respectfully let you rock.
No, I respect, because that everything you're saying is cool, but that wasn't the question that was asked. The question that was asked was, Trill, do you think that you would allow Dillian White
what Trill said? This is a whole.
No, that's what you said. You asked the question, Trill, do you think that?
Bro, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and relax.
You asked the question, do I think that Dillian White?
Issue, bro. This is about opinions. You got your opinion, and I got mine.
You asked the question. It was an opinion. You asked the question, do I think, and I answered that. Now you're saying something else about the WBC and him being able to fight. That's not what I'm answering about. You asked the question, do I think it's too soon for Dillian White to be stepping in the ring? That's the only question that I'm answering. You brought in another question about the WBC.
Thoughts. I never asked you, did you?
My thoughts is, and I told you my thoughts, and that was it.
And okay, your thoughts are your thoughts. My personal opinion and my thoughts are this, and not even opinion, just the fact that I was stating again is about he needs to win before Tyson Fury fights Deontay Wilder. That's what I'm getting at. My position is he needs to do what's most important to him. So although I agree that he's taking the fight too soon and he probably should wait longer, I understand the dilemma that he's in, because if he doesn't win before December 19th, he's not going to have an argument to be the mandatory challenger once that fight is over. If that fight is over and Dillian White hasn't beaten Alexander Povetkin, then it's clear sailing for the winner of that fight to sign to fight Anthony Joshua, is what I'm getting at. So although we may think it's too soon, it's a matter of what Dillian White can live with. It's a matter of, will he be able to sleep at night? What means most to him? And all I'm saying is we can say, oh, it's murder for you to step in that ring, or, oh, you'll die if you step in that ring, but it's his decision to make. Just like people who choose to drink, people who choose to smoke, people who choose to eat and do certain things, they make those decisions. Every decision people make has the potential to kill them. So he needs to do what he feels is going to make him happy, is all I'm saying. So if that's what's going to make him happy, I support the decision. That's my position.
I think that we went all the way around the circle just to say we agree with each other, because that's the same thing that I said from the beginning. I just said, I wish, this is his decision, I just wish he had better people around him. At least somebody that he listened to. You know what I'm saying? That can talk him to say, hey, maybe it is too soon for you, champ. That's it.
All right.
Anybody got to add to that? Please like and subscribe.
I just want to say,
Go ahead, TBE. Go ahead, TBE.
I just want to say, Dillian want that dance with that baddie in that green and gold dress, yo. Let him get that dance, all right?
He's willing to die for that dance.
Get that dance. Let him get that dance.
I hope not, Dylan. I hope not. Please like and subscribe. Let us know what you feel about this madness. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. It's the Boxing Bros. That was long.
Catch me creeping down the dark street. This is where me and the zombies meet. Guarantee we all gonna eat. It's Zombie Ray again with HD. I'm a zombie in the night, you better run from me. Zombie Ray in the house, you better run, homie. Brought a mask and some gloves with some thugs with me. I came to do damage, you wanna purge with me. Super Saiyan zombie, I'll be